Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, episode 262. And in this one, obviously, as it is, as we speak, coming up to the last 25 minutes of the transfer window, we will talk on that. But first of all, we're going to talk on the Burton Albion game reaction with player ratings. And I will actually be giving a man of the match because we won the game. So, yeah, keep an eye out for who that is. But if most of you watch the match reaction, you'd know who I'm going to give it to. But a lot of very good performances in that game, which we will touch on. But before we do any of that, Dad, how have you been?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Anxiously waiting to see, what's going to happen. But yeah, let's crack on with the Burton game, and then we can get into it.
Yeah, as much as it is obviously a Hat Show, guys, it is a live reaction. You're going to see our live reaction to the window as it ends. Obviously, there'll still be stuff that comes out after, but the paperwork has to be signed and that for that to happen, and things like that. So, just quickly on that, I do think people are panicking a little bit. There's been no outs yet. I'm sure there has behind the scenes. It just hasn't been announced yet. Same with incomings. I mean, we'll get into all of that. But yeah, going into the Burton game, I mean, looking at it, like we said in the preview to it, it is a game we should win. Like you said, Dad, it's a game you look at the start of the season, one of our earlier games, and you think we got to be taking 3 points from that. And, again, you look at that due to how Burton were last year, and also the fact, I saw this thing during the week, and McGuinness is actually worth more himself than a whole team. And that sort of gives you them sort of vibes. And obviously, it was a 3-0. Do you know what? It reminds me of Ways, actually, when we met that game against Chelsea in the Premier League. Obviously, their squad was like 10 times more than ours, and they won 3-0 that night as well. Do you know what I mean? It was that type of game, where you'd expect to win and nothing else. And it was a good game to bounce back from. But as for the lineup, I mean, the most interesting shouts from the lineup and points to take out of it were Nelson starting. I mean, you were calling for it, Dad. You want to see him start at some point. He did start in this game. Kadoa was back on the right, which is good to see because I honestly think he's been one of our best players at the moment. And then obviously you had Norda starting again, which was good to see. Yates still started. I was a little bit surprised about that. Me personally, I would have put him to the bench and brought him on in this game. But then again, obviously, Wells is getting into the swing of things. Obviously, being out, recently. And yeah, Ali was a wing back again. But yeah, that was interesting to see. And the bench, like I said in my reaction, that was a key thing to take out of this game because obviously it's the last one for the transfer window. Obviously, shuts. And there was no Woodrow. We'll talk on Woodrow later. There was no Lamine. There was no Holmes. And yeah, they were the key ones. Chigoze was on the bench. That was great to see because I rate him highly. Obviously, we'd have seen in that Coventry game, he looked really good. So it's good to see him on there. But yeah, the lineup, a few interesting shouts and calls that, worked in the end.
Yeah, it's good to see Nordas starting again. But it's quite interesting. We put Naismith on the bench. We need to do that a little bit more. Like I say, we can't be relying on him every game because it's sort of, do you know what I mean? And Longwit played well there. He's played there before, so that's good to see. Obviously, Kadoa as well, and Nelson, like I said. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, when I saw Naismith not starting, I was very surprised because obviously he's the captain and, it's rare that you will see him dropped, but it worked. It did work. And, Bloomfield's obviously dropped him before, not quite when he's the captain, but, you think of, well, not necessarily dropped him, but that game after Burnley, that when he had his suspension, the Middlesbrough game, we all thought he'd come straight back in for that game and he didn't. So he has obviously not played him at times before, but it was an interesting shout. But yeah, going into the first half, I thought we were very dominant. And like I said in my reaction, it's one of them games where we didn't really need to be proper on it. Like, let's be honest, there were still a few moments Burton did get in behind, which was a bit frustrating. There were having spaces at times. But the Nordos, sorry, got a goal. You know, like I said at the time, in the reaction, the keeper, and I said it to you, obviously, Dad, when we were watching it, probably should have done better. But a player that needs confidence. You saw that little glimpse in pre-season when he scored. Eventually gave him a lot of confidence. He was looking much better as a player. Got the goal, and you see how happy everyone was for him. I mean, there was a brilliant picture that come out of him and Yates. Yates is like smiling, looking gassed, and you sort of obviously we celebrate goals, but you sort of heard like an extra sort of celebration for this goal because we all know he needed to sort of break that not really curse, but just the moment of not being able to score because he's had a few chances but just hasn't managed to score yet so far in the league, and he finally did. And yeah, you and Jamie Dad went absolutely mental. We were loving it.
Yeah, like I say, we didn't. They're probably the worst team we've played this season. I'd say. You know, we just beat them on the sheer quality that we've got. You know what I mean? It wasn't a poor performance at all. It was a decent performance. Do you know what I mean? And the confidence was there, and that's good to see. Because that's what you need against the better teams. Do you know what I mean? But this is the sort of game that will definitely build their confidence. That kit, maybe that kit's a lucky kit. We've got 3 trees now already. But yeah, like I'm left-footed as well. Yes, the keeper messed up, but the amount of shots he's had, he's hit the post a couple of times. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. So, he deserved that. And yeah, it's a good pass. What I noticed about Nelson is he does spot a pass, and he's strong and powerful as well. So yeah, that was a good, excellent goal from him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then obviously Ali scored a goal. Later on in that half. I mean, Burton did have a few chances from set pieces. Charlie Webster, 3 really good deliveries. A player I do rate really, really highly. And Keeley had to be alert, is one way to put it. But then we did get another goal right on half time, and I think that massively helped. Because at that point, I was saying to you, Dad, I was like, right, we need to go out there now and get 3s or 4s. We can definitely do that, even though we're not playing to our full potential, because they were very, very vulnerable defensively. I mean, they were passing it round the back at times, and when they're losing, I'm like, what are they doing? And the keeper looked very suspect at the start. So I knew we could definitely get at them from that moment. And Ali, like I said in the reaction, what a strike that was. Them type of goals are really hard to score. You've got to get the technique right, and it was a brilliant, brilliant finish. And as much as he was playing as a wing back in this game, whatever he was told to do definitely benefited him because he was he was driving at the players continuously. And that's what we know he's good at. We see the glimpses of him do it in pre-season, and the back end of last season. We want to see him be doing that again. And, obviously when it comes to the window, obviously we have got a few wingers in. Obviously I know one's gone back out again and we'll touch on it briefly later, but I don't know. I mean, if we actually start playing with wingers, you have him and then, Shaden Morris or something like that on the other side, well, that could cause some serious havoc, and we've got the players there to play it, but it's just, I can't see the back line changing when it comes to, 3 at the back or to 4 at the back. I can't see that right now, especially the fact we're being linked with no left backs. That is a worry for me. That is a massive worry. But yeah, great finish from Ali yet again. And yeah, done the flip. Trademark celebration, eh, Dad?
Yeah. But just before his goal, like he was cutting inside, like you're saying. I think it's easier for him. He's been told to attack more because we're up against a weaker opposition, and that's what it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? So, if he is the left winger or left wing back, for now, we still should be looking to get one in, but we might just miss out on that. Who knows? Can go again in January, but you can see in games, certain games, majority of teams, he should be able to play further forward. So it's not too bad. But yeah, he cut inside a couple of times, then got a cross in, and Yates 9 times out of 10 would have scored from that cross. He's definitely a little bit behind the other players. No doubt he'll get better, but yeah, he would have buried that before. And then obviously you said that they had a couple of set piece chances from their main man Webster, and I'm surprised he's still there as it going. He was their best player. And then Nelson had a cracking shot from 25 yards at the post. And then was again, involved in the build-up play to the pass into the penalty area. And then the ball come to Ali. Great finish, another left-footed banger. And yeah, we knew he scored goals this season, and this is the best game we've seen him so far as well. But that's because he's better than the opposition, and he's allowed to do what he does. Do you know what I mean? There'll be plenty of games like that, and this is an away game as well, which is tougher. We'd only played them a few times. Don't even know if we'd beaten them before, to be honest. But yeah, great goal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just seeing some of the comments on transfers. Phil says, might be getting this guy. Apparently, we have actually got him, mate. It's just a club announcing it. 300k for him. Obviously, we have got a lot of players. Obviously, Shaden Morris being one that's actually announced that we've been looking at for a while. So I trust the recruitment team. If they've been looking at these players for a while, a lot of the bids have got rejected. We've gone in again. Surely there's something we see in these players. Obviously I'm referring to Shaden Morris. This player you mentioned here. My only worry with him is, are we going to loan him out again? That's my only worry, because, again, another, winger, you don't want to, obviously you want to have competition, but you don't want to have too many. Do you know what I mean? But we felt we probably needed another winger, maybe 2 at most. Do you know what I mean? We have gone out and got quite a lot and haven't really filled anywhere else. But again, we'll talk about all that in a bit when it does come to that. So yeah, we'll go. Yeah, we'll go through all the transfers in a minute. We'll get through this. But yeah, going into the second half, Nelson obviously scored, very good goal. But you have to give massive shout out to Clark in that goal, because if it weren't for him, we wouldn't have even got on that break and scored. Very good feat by Jordan Clark. And Nordust and Nelson worked really well together. Obviously set each other up for a goal each and an assist each as well. So, fair play to Nelson, really good finish. And he looked really good in this game. He looked really good. Like, a lot of people are saying now that he should be a regular starter. Would you agree with that, Dad? Obviously, I know you was calling for him to start a bit more.
Well, now that Baptiste is out, probably never play for us again, unfortunately. Perfect opportunity for him, He's much more skillful, obviously he's younger. He can put a tackle in as well. So for me, he's at the moment, maybe we'll be looking to get someone else in, which I think we are, but he could be a real asset this season, the run from Clark, Nordas as well. Link up play, as we've said in previous shows, is excellent. And it weren't even that, it was the fact that he just come power. He was in the opposition's half and just come running all the way through and was like, give it to me, and then done the business. And it was a quality finish from a tight angle. We've seen better players, especially last season, miss opportunities like that. So yeah, the best goal till last. I think so anyway.
Fair enough. I'd say Ali's just slightly because of technical, but yeah, we're all-round play. I'd definitely agree that was the best one in terms of that. But yeah, he thoroughly deserved it. I mean, like you said, he defended well at times. I mean, me personally, I was a bit frustrated with the yellow card, but the tackles before that, you've got to remember, this guy's actually a striker. Defending's not really his job. And to be doing some of the tackles he was doing at the start of the game, the slide tackles, winning the ball, proper getting himself involved. And, like I said, there was people like yourself, Dad, calling for him to start. I've seen a few other people say it. And, you know, he's definitely warranted that at this moment in time, I would say, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, when we do, I do think when we play the higher end teams like away, then maybe, guy with a little bit more experience, even though he's one of the more experienced youngsters. But, he can definitely play in a lot of games this season for sure. And Bloomfield will be delighted with that because he has said he wants him to make a big impact, and he certainly did in that game. So, massive credit to him. And then we just made some subs to sort of see the game out really. Towards the end of the game, Keeley had to make one big save at the end, and yeah, again, it wasn't vintage performance. Definitely our best performance of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. There was still a few, moments where they got in a little bit too easily, and maybe if it was a better team, they would have scored. But overall, 3 goals away. We responded, which we did like to do a lot back in the day under Nathan Jones. So good to see that, and it was a statement win. That shows that we're not quite like the last 2 years. I would say in the sense of we lose a game, then we lose the next game. You know what I mean? It's a repetitive cycle. So there was definitely positives to take out of that game for sure. But yeah, we'll get into the player ratings now, and then we'll get into all the transfer stuff. But yeah, Keeley in goal. To be fair, made a couple. The save at the end was a good save. Was routine. Done well when he was called upon in this game. So to be fair to him, got a clean sheet as well. I'll give him a. You know what? I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I agree. That's that's what we brought him in for. And there was also one in the first half as well from a corner, and then where they got kind of they fouled our player and sort of bundled him. Do you know what I mean? But he was part of that, enabling that to get disallowed and that. And yeah, his distribution was good. He was, confident, and yeah, player that we expect him to be. So yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 7 in chat says Charlie. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to who should we go over to? Makoso, new look, completely bald now. And it took a few throws, part of that clean sheet. Yeah, he was all right. I'll give him 7.
Yeah, same. Pretty resolute. I mean, they didn't offer much, but what they did offer, it was dealt with easily by all 3 defenders, really. But yeah, he just done his job and was looking to get forward as well. The same sort of thing, against inferior opposition. You've got to go for it if you want to be getting promoted and being a better team. And that's what we've done. And he was part of that. So yeah, 7.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yes, 6 says Charlie. Moving on to the next player, we'll go over to McGuinness. Thought he was decent, similar to what you said in the sense of really have too much. It's just their moments they did get in. And I think one of the moments they got in, I think McGuinness, it was quite poor marking, I'll be honest. But other than that, he was decent. I'll give him a 7.
I thought he was pretty good, winning all the headers. Expect that of him. A lot of people say that's his only attribute, but that's bollocks. I think he might have cleared one off the line potentially. I'm not sure, but he was just winning everything. And there's news anyway. But 7.5.
Yeah.
Captain needed captain. No, Clark was a captain.
Yeah, Clark. Yeah. I mean, if Clark weren't there, it would have been McGuinness. Because obviously Bloomfield has sung his praises about him as a captain. But yeah, moving on to Longwick. I thought personally he was our best centre-back out of that 3. I thought, seeing him there as a centre-back is just so much better. And I feel we could play anywhere across that 3.
Yeah, you can.
So, yeah, I think, you've got to be playing him there. Whether you think he should start games or not, I think you've got to be putting him there in games. I think he's much more comfortable, isn't it? But yeah, as for this game, best defender for me, I'm going to give him I'm going to give him an 8.
I'll give him a 7.5. So I look really assured there. Like, there was no like, where's Naismith? Like, do you know what I mean? And that's how you know. I mean, I think he played there in that position in a few pre-season friendlies, and he was excellent. So, and he's supporting Ali as well, so it was all good. Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, I remember the Gillingham away game, and he was playing as a centre back, and I thought the opening 10 minutes he was probably our best player in that game. So, yeah, other ratings. Mark McGuinness 7.5 says Charlie. He's also gone with 8 for Longwick. Paul has gone with 8 as well. Moving on we'll go over to Kadoa. Again, some really nice tackles in this game. His slide tackles are immense. Fair play to him because it's not really ideally where he wants to play, but he'll play and he'll put in a shift. So I have to give him massive credit. The way he's come in, it still should be starting in that position for me. So yeah, for me, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Really impressed, and for me, he's been one of our best players recently.
Yeah, he looks hungry, strong, physical looking. He can battle anyone for that, and the fact that he is defending as well, because I know we've obviously brought in right winger, and we've got others out injured, etc. Like, if the better that you are defensive as well as going forward, the more likely you're going to start, isn't it? So, and he's proving that, and he's still a young star. Going forward, he causes problems, and he works really hard. So yeah, 7.5.
Yeah. Other comments are flying in. Good to see everyone inside. Paul's gone with 8. Oh no, I read that, didn't I? Kadoa 9 says Charlie. Hey, how is it going? Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I hope you are well. Nigel 8 says Jackie. 8.5, 7.5, and an 8. Yeah, no, really, really good. Moving on to the other side, Ali. See, again, like I say, whatever he was told to do, running at players, it definitely works. We want to see him do that more as the season goes on. But yeah, really good goal. Really effective, and was causing a lot of havoc to Burton's defence. So for me, I'll give him an 8. Probably the best game I've seen so far from him.
Yeah, definitely an 8. Creating chances, running at players. Not just constantly. Like, he'd try and offer it up to other teammates as well. And then, that finish, I think, is that going to be the best goal we've seen him scored for us so far? Maybe.
Yeah.
And just, linking up with, most of the attackers really well. So, yeah, 8.
So I'm just laughing at his comment. Yeah, I saw that. They were trying to get him. And obviously the medical got, is the reason he's not going. But I'm surprised, like, he's still recovering. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not as bad as, like, Elijah's injury, for example. But he's still, I don't know why they're trying to get him. That makes no sense. I can never understand when teams do that. It doesn't make sense to me. But, yeah. Other ratings, 8.5, says Charlie. Jackie's on with 8, 7.5. That's keeping an eye on the transfer news. Do you know what I mean? See if any Luton stuff popping up.
Just put flipping, all the Premier League stuff on.
Yeah. To be fair, though, I know someone that was watching it earlier, a Luton fan, and apparently there was the AL-HAMADI thing at the bottom on the ticker. So, I'm surprised they're still actually won't care that we're in League One. But yeah, I see that on Brown. Yeah, I don't understand it. I really don't. But yeah, moving on to the next player. We'll go over to Saville. Again, he's been one of our best players recently. Obviously we've given him a lot of votes so far this season for man of the match, and yeah, really, really good again. I didn't really need to do as much as he's had to do in certain games, in the sense of the slide tackles and stuff, but he got a bandage on, obviously, in this game. Continued, sort of gave me Naismith vibes. But obviously, Naismith has it on the head when he has it, whereas he had it on the leg. There was a worry where we thought he might have had to come off. And I generally think if he gets injured, it's not looking good. In the midfield, I'll be honest, there's good players there, but no one's quite like him in the sense of the defensive structure for that midfield. So, yeah, for me, really good in the game. Consistent performance again, 7.5.
Yeah. Like I say, he's been wet. He needs time off, I reckon. Do you know what I mean? Like, Well, he's flipping in national duty, you know. But
Yeah, so he ain't gonna have to time off.
but you know, from the hectic, you know, this he won't have to do as much work playing in a Northern Ireland squad or whatever. So a little breakaway and that, and then back to business against I think it's Plymouth at home, isn't it? So yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I'll probably have a look. I'll have a look at their games because they do play when England don't play. And not that I really care about the thing, but yeah, I just like to obviously have a look. I mean, when we've had when we had Chio, who's gone to Sheffield United, by the way. When we had him and things like that, I always like to have a look. I remember when James Collins got called up for Ireland. I know it's Northern Ireland thing is that, but yeah, I do have a little check out of that. Other comments on Savile 8, good tackle, Nordas's goal. Yeah, true. 8, man of the match for Rich. He's gone with an 8. Fair enough, mate. Can't blame you. And Paul's gone with an 8 as well. Moving on to Jordan Clark. I mean, like I say, you've got to give him massive credit. Oh, breaking news, by the way. Tom Holmes has joined Rotherham on a season-long loan. So that's literally just come out. Luton have confirmed that. So I did talk on that the other day and did release a short out to that. But yeah, we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, like I say, with Clark, when he's in an advanced role, he's much better. You know, I mean, the third goal, you've got to give him massive credit because I don't think we score. If he don't do that bit of skill, we don't score. So yeah, really, really good performance from Clark. I felt, you know, there was a moment where Walsh come on, which meant he went even higher. Maybe took a bit too many touches, could have took a shot away and maybe scored. But yeah, it was decent. I'll give him a 7.
I'll give him 7.5. Thought he was energetic, you know, working hard. I know he does anyway, but it's it's paying off. It was quite an easy game for him, and then he had that brilliant run down the wing. So yeah, I'll give him 7.5.
Yeah. Yep. Other ratings. That is Charlie's man of match, Jordan Clark, 8. When it comes to that, 7.5 says Paul. But yeah, moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Nelson, man of the match for me in this game. I thought, 1 goal, 1 assist. The only disappointing thing for me was the yellow card, but other than that, really, really good. Showed good elements of defending as well at the start with his tackles and stuff. So yeah, really good performance for me for Nelson. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 for me. As I said before, great finish. Good assist. We've already touched on it. Really good performance, and he's just the more games he gets, I think better and better he's going to get. I think he could go all the way, to be honest with you. But yeah, 8.5.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the window is officially closed. Like I say, Tom Holmes has just come out that he's gone to Rotherham. So yeah, Nelson 9.5, just in front of Clark. Fair enough, mate. Nelson 8.5. Big up to everyone inside, by the way. 33 people inside. Do smash the like. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well. But yeah, moving on to the next player, we'll go over to Nordos. Again, very close man in the match for me. 1 goal, 1 assist like Nelson. And yeah, there's that good element because that's what he needs. He needs that goal for confidence. He got it, and hopefully now he kicks on. The link-up play was really good in this game again. So yeah, fair play to him. I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. Thought it was really good. Obviously, goal, a bit lucky, but as I said, you've got to strike it, get it on target. He got the assist. His link-up plays just getting better and better every game. Physically looks, getting stronger, especially on the turn. I think he just needs to work on it a little bit, in the penalty area and stuff like that. But yeah, just looking better and better. And he's sort of at the moment he's pushing himself for a start, isn't he? So yeah, I'm really pleased. 8.
Yeah, I think he has to start. Like even I said it even when he didn't score. Just with the fact Yates is still getting into the swing of things. I've said it myself. He will definitely do well. It's just going to take him a while because he hasn't had a pre-season, and even the time he did at Blackpool, I think it took about 7 games to score, 7, 8 games. So hopefully in the next couple of games he scores for us. But yeah, that's that when it comes to that. And then moving on to Yates, talking on Yates, like I said in the reaction, obviously not, the worst out of the players, but not like he was terrible. It's just, yeah, he's still trying to get into things. But however, he should have scored that goal. I'll be honest, he should have scored that goal. But it will come. It will come. So yeah, for me, 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him 6.5. He got on the ball and that, and was but it's just off it a little bit, and then he had a moment of frustration as well with one of their players.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But yeah, 6.5.
Yeah, that was frustrating because we were 3-0 out. There was no need for that. There was no need for that at all. 9 for Nordos. 8. Yates 5, Yates 7 or 6. Yeah, fair enough. Yates 7. And then moving on to the substitutions for us, Wells, I'll probably just give him a 6.5.
Yeah, that's what 15 minutes to go. We took our foot off the gas, a little bit. So, it's just getting some minutes really. So yeah, 6.5.
To be fair, I think I'm going to give them all 6.5 bar Bramwell. I'll just give him a 6 because that was less time. That was a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense there. Who was your man of the match, by the way, Dad, for this game?
Nelson
as well. Okay, so he's on 2 now. So he's level with Anderson, guys. He's joint second already. Obviously, it's still very early days. Savile obviously got 4 votes for our man of the match so far. As for the points, I will read out the points, like I say, to the people that are not in the Discord. Do join it if you haven't already. It is in the description and obviously the pinned comments. But I'm on 4. Dudge, we both finally got some points again. You're on 2. Jackie, you're on 6, by the way. Rich, you're on 4. Paul, you're on 6. Stephen's on 5. Tom's on 1. Phil's on 2. Andy's on 2. Darth Vader, again, he joined later, but he has managed to be on 8 points. And he said 1-0 as well, like me. So that gave me a bit of confidence based on how he started, but wasn't quite to be. But is even better. Ben's on 5. Terry's on 3. Blitz is on 3. Chat GPT is on 4. And yeah, Jamie's on 5. So they're the points. They are the points as it stands. Obviously, still very, very early days, but a lot of us getting some points, which is good to see. Because 2 weeks during the season, there's been times where we haven't got nothing. Every single one of us. So yeah, it's good to see, and Jackie's happy about that. But yeah, let's move on to the transfer news. So it's officially shut now. I believe there's still stuff that will be announced because it just hasn't been able to be done yet. In the sense of, just the club's announcing it. The paperwork's done, I guarantee, for some. And stuff will come out. But yeah, the first thing we'll start off with, as it has come out just recently, Tom Holmes to Rotherham on loan. Oh, it's got a question mark because it's before we went on. But obviously it's officially happened now. Now, like I've said, it just hasn't really worked out at Luton. Like, let's be honest. You think of that Watford game. Yes, I know we won 3-0, but, nearly a mistake passing it back to Kaminsky. That was at 0-0. The Coventry games, he's never had good games against Coventry. And with the amount of centre-backs we've got, it just don't really fit in. And, his most recent game was that Coventry game in the League Cup. And a lot of people say he was at fault for the goal. So, yeah, it just had to work. It had to work out in the sense of just getting him off the team for the season. I haven't looked too much into it in the sense of if it's a loan with an option to buy. If anyone knows that, do let me know. But I'd hope so. I'd hope so, to be honest, because even if he done really well there, I can't see him coming back into this team. So, yeah, Tom Holmes departs, Dad.
Yeah, I mean, we signed him. Reading didn't want to get him go. He was meant to be excellent. a couple of times he looked good, but he's not like probably young. He's 25. I think he just looked way off of it in this pre-season. So I don't know how long is he on loan for? Trying to look, don't know, but season long. So he needs some minutes and some matches, and then see what happens. You know what I mean? Obviously, if he does really well there, like excellent, then we'll be just looking to have him back, I guess. Also, the fact that we've got 2 other defenders linked with moves at the moment, there's got to be someone coming in, or someone's definitely not going for that to happen. But yeah, we have to, if we want to get people in or spaces and that, we've got to make room, and he was definitely not in the reckoning, was he really?
And you think of the time he went abroad towards the back end of last year, didn't really work there. Didn't really start a lot for them either. So, yeah, it's one of them. I think he'll do okay for Rotherham. I sort of said it the other day in a video I did. Rotherham are sort of like, they haven't really tried to capitalise since they got relegated from the Championship. You see, like, obviously us, you see in Huddersfield now, obviously Birmingham. Do you know what I mean? They've all been up there trying to get back up, whereas they're sort of flirting with mid-table sometimes. They've got good players, but they're not capitalising on it. But I think he'll do well for them. And yeah, I agree with Charlie here. Hope it does well for them so we can sell him. Yeah, it get to that sort of stage, because I just don't see I just don't think it works with him at Luton. Certain players don't work at certain clubs. That's just how I think it is with him. Moving on to the next one that's come out, and there was a comment on this from Rich. Woodrow to Wickham on loan. Now, the way everyone found this out was very interesting. There was obviously the team picture. Don't know why they're doing it this early, still with incomings and outgoings at Wickham, but they did it, and Woodrow was in the background behind Fred, ironically. Obviously, he used to play for us. And he didn't look too happy. But yeah, he's gone to Wickham on loan. Yeah, I am seeing that myself. And there was rumours of Leighton Orient the other day, but it's set to now be Wickham. Yeah, makes sense. Not really too far. Obviously from Luton, and yeah, I mean, yeah, for us, I'm happy that he's not going to be at the club. Because again, another player that has not lived up to it. Yes, he got a couple last-minute goals, but overall, his contribution, his stats, even though I don't really like to look at stats loads, they're terrible. They're terrible. They don't lie. And any time he's had a chance to start, not been good enough. And I think it tells you something, when he's getting linked with all these clubs before this move, and, he's not, they're not even wanting him. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, there's things like that as well. I think we have to look at when it comes to that. But yeah, finally got him off the books. A few people thought we might just keep him just because Luton like to do that sometimes. But he's off the books on loan for now, Dad.
Yeah, I think we signed attackers anyway. I'm looking to get now. And he's obviously been told that he's not really in the plans. Obviously Wickham kind of makes sense. Matt would have told him, like, he's going to get a start there that's decent, seems like a size club. He'd probably start most games there, I would have thought, especially if he in it, and he could do well there, to be honest. But yeah, so it's one of them, didn't really work out. So yeah, it's best for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that. And then some other rumours that come out today, obviously you touched on it briefly regarding defenders. The actual defenders we are referring to, Tida Mengi to Burnley. He has been linked with them before, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he was linked with them again. Again, he's another player a lot of fans would like to get off the books. There is some people going, oh yeah, but if he's thinking and his head's in the right place, he'll be good for us. But I can't see it. If he didn't want to be with us in the Championship, why is he going to want to be with us in League One? I just can't see it. And I did think that injury he got against Southend. I thought, him coming back earlier than he did from that, I was thinking, okay, we could probably get him off the books. But Yeah, I mean, this one's an interesting one. I do think there's a good player there. I do, but I just don't feel, it's going to be with us. Is what I'm trying to say. But what did you make of these rumours when you saw them, Dad?
Not say I heard it before. It's just obviously he's done right. He's got a lot of potential. Cut of injury issues. Looking to come back, but probably on quite a lot of wages as well. Probably does think that we've always felt that he probably wants to move away. So yeah, if it happens, obviously it could still happen. Like paperwork's gone through, which has not been announced, like you say. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one because obviously we've got to talk about McGuinness. You know what I mean? To lose both of them and not replace them, do you know what I mean? Is just, he can't be doing that really. But hopefully we've kept hold of McGuinness and for now, and then Mengi. We've got players. We've been playing without him, so it's fine. Get a decent fee, and again see what happens.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Going back to what you said about decent fee, we'll have to get that because I know Man United get a heavy bit of it on top of that as well. And like I say, there is definitely a player there. It's just his mentality is not there to be doing it for us. I feel, that's just how I see it. So, yeah. And talking on McGuinness, that was the next thing we was going to go into with McGuinness. So, earlier on today, he was linked with Ipswich, and then there was Sheffield United links. And I'm just going to say straight up, if you want Mark McGuinness, you got to be touching what we touched to get him, roughly that much. And I don't care that we're in League One. I don't care. Yeah, we cannot be selling him for some silly money because, like you said, Dad, we you can't afford to lose both of them. And if you ask, yeah, I'm sure 9 out of 10 Luton fans, 9 times out of 10, would you rather keep Mengi or McGuinness? They're telling you McGuinness. So that's just how I see it when it comes to that regarding McGuinness. But yeah, what did you make of them rumours as well?
Well, I was quite surprised didn't have interest earlier on, but obviously he was injured or ill. So I
Yeah,
think it's part of that. And I've been looking at him. He's still getting back up to speed, but he for me, he can play in the Championship. But I don't want to see him go. Obviously, definitely not. Like say the money, I don't know if we would get that, but then if it's linked to getting AL-HAMADI, yeah, I don't know if that's part of the deal or not. I'd say it's probably not. But yes, we're going to be, because if he carries on for him, we've got Anderson out injured as well. And I think McGuinness would be happy to stay. Do you know what I mean? At least for another season to see what happens or whatever. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So
I
it
think.
does. It was quite strong interest, but we don't need to sell him. It's just whether or not he wants to go. But I'm hoping we've probably persuaded him to stay, especially with Holmes going and things like that. The Anderson injured. I say Mengi probably going. Johnson injured. We can't. Nah, that wouldn't be a good business. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, if they paid over the odds, which they're not going to, then yeah, you would. If someone come in for 15 in January, you might be tempted. But then you've got time to line up between now and then a replacement. So yeah, I don't think he will be going personally. But a lot of people criticise him sometimes. I mean, he's obviously got something about him, and if the Championship team's looking at him.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I think what could factor him staying as well is how highly Matt Bloomfield sung his praises. Obviously last season he was saying, he could be a future captain. Even us as, especially me and you, Dad. If we're thinking the other day before we saw that Clark was the captain, it was probably him, given that Naismith weren't on the pitch. So there's definitely a good player there. But yeah, I think he probably does stay at least for this season. So yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. But yeah, moving on to the next one. I did do a video on it yesterday. And a lot of Barnsley fans since on the TikTok coming at me. But yeah, obviously there was rumours that we put a bid in. I still don't know the official numbers for Adam Phillips, who is a attacking midfielder. It's come out that we're not going to be getting him. He says, well, he put out it himself. It weren't even the club or anything like that. I'm not going to get it up. But he basically was like, I'm staying with a couple of swear words. So yeah, don't know why he was so salty about that, but yeah, a bit OTT for that. But yeah, that will be happening. Obviously, we feel we need another sort of attacking midfielder, especially since the injury of Baptiste. Still feel we need another option, but it will not be him. There has been a few other links to midfielders. Put some bids in for some other midfielders, but apparently they're a bit too low. Apparently, one from Bolton, can't remember his name. Someone remind me in the chat. But yeah, there's that with that. But yeah, it's not happening. Regarding this one, any additional thoughts on this, Dad?
Not really. It's just one of them, like just just a rumor in it, and I'm not really bothered by it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's the one. Morley. Thank you for that, Rich. That's the one. And I believe Morley was at Wickham when Bloomfield was. So that's one of them sort of ones that Bloomfield looks at when it comes to that. G1 says, no, as it stands, he's still here. Nothing's come out of that. I probably think he goes, though, personally. Just the fact he hasn't been in the last lineup, whether that's on the bench or not, just not in the team at all. I do think he does go. So yeah, we shall see. But as it stands right now, he's still here, mate. And then something that finally come out today. Shaden Morris, we finally got him in. Again, I put TikTok out of that, and had a lot of Aberdeen fans. A lot of them telling me how he was, and I do respect that, saying similar things. But then a few just waffling like the Scottish League is the Premier League. But yeah, anyway, waffling. But yeah, he's come to us. Finally been announced. Shaden Morris obviously has spoke on him loads since the rumours. Again, it's another one of them players that we've been looking at for a while. Put a bid in, 600k, got rejected. We've upped that. I don't know what the exact offer that we've upped it to is, but he's come in and he's a winger, another good option there to have, I believe. Seeing, his contributions last season, scored against the better teams or contributed against the better teams. So yeah, it's another winger. When you get all these wingers, you think you're going to change formation, but I just don't know. But one thing I will say, before I let you say your thoughts on this, lad, do not play him as a wing back, because Aberdeen fans have told me he played there. They were 3-0 up, and they ended up drawing 3-all. So, yeah, just don't play him there. And for me, that league is poor. Do you know what I mean? That league is poor. So, yeah, that's one thing I will say. But, yeah, impact player, I'll definitely be bringing him on in games because he sounds like a really good impact player. And looking at his, stats overall, he makes a very good impact coming on. So, yeah, that's what I will say. But, yeah, your thoughts on this, Dad? First signing, early signing. So we all thought, yeah, there's going to be loads more that come out today.
Yeah,
there hasn't been too many.
I mean, he's still quite young, isn't he? Obviously, right winger, like you say, stacked with them, really, haven't we? Power player. But yeah, like you say, defensively, doesn't sound that sort of player. So it's quite interesting. But he got they won the cup and that, and I think he got man of the match or something. We'll see. Player of the year he got for them yet. Let's judge him when he starts playing. It's one of them, it's a bit unknown, but he's played in League One before. So yeah, let's just see what happens with him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, it's another one of them players that is London born, so that is a massive factor with us not being too far of him joining as well, closer to family and things like that. So we'll see how he does. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, would you maybe put him in for tomorrow? Just get him into the swing of things, maybe see how he is, in the flesh, maybe. I mean, let me know. Let me know how you feel about that. So yeah, that is that when it comes to that. Moving on to the next player, another player we've signed. Me personally, I never really understand when we do these type of signings. So Ethan Archer, but he's been loaned back out to where he was. And the only reason I could understand it is because if he does really well, he'll be obviously if you get him now, he'll be cheaper. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's done very well. Obviously in League Two, we'll see how he continues to do in League Two this year. I don't know too much about him. I need to have a little bit more of a look on him, and I will now that he is officially our player. But yeah, anything you'd like to add on this signing, Dad?
Youngster, left winger. Obviously we've been looked at. We're sort of continuing that recruitment. We do normally make a marquee kind of signing. We haven't really. Loan back out. I know it hasn't. A few times before we've done that, it hasn't worked, has it? Really, but I mean, this time it's like till January, so it's only a couple of months. It's probably part in a clause a little bit as well. Like we're not going to start him every game and things like that. Or do you know what I mean? Whereas they'll probably carry on playing him. So come January, then he's fit enough or just fit enough to get involved with the squad, and we'll see what happens. Another one we've just got to sort of wait and see what happens. Really, I mean we've got cover there a little bit. So yeah, we need a left back, don't we? Really.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main priority when it comes to that. But then the final thing we will talk on, and yeah, this is an interesting one. I mean, a lot of people have said things in the comments, but it's about AL-HAMADI. So it come out this morning. It was all over the place. Like, Sky Sports were saying stuff on it. That we have agreed a deal with Ipswich Town to sign him on loan with an obligation to buy. The overall deal is said to be worth 3 million, and he's currently travelling to Luton for a medical, and that was 7 hours ago. So, Ipswich to Luton's not it's not close, but it's not as far as certain places to other places in the country, and it still hasn't, nothing to come out of it. Obviously, again, like we said, the paperwork could be done, but I don't know why there hasn't been an announcement. But again, it's another player similar to Morris that we've been linked with for ages. Obviously, there was the rumours that we were looking at him earlier on in the summer window, and we've gone out, and got him. And this was sort of out of nowhere. I didn't expect us to go back in with him, especially the fact we got Yates in as well. Because he'll want to start AL-HAMADI. I think he'll want to start. So obviously, yes, we play two up front, but then we've got a decent amount of strikers. But if you're sort of seeing it as a Woodrow replacement, I mean, what a replacement that is for him. Let's just be real. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, the option to buy is quite interesting as well. But I do know that Matt Bloomfield does rate him highly. So let's see. Let's see if it obviously is set to happen, which it sounds from everything I'm hearing it is, but there's just still no announcement. So maybe it might come out later, or something will come out, or medical failed. Hopefully not, but yeah. Would you make of this one, Dad?
So it's interesting because obviously was linked with him before, played for Wickham. He's proven at this level definitely. He's still young. He's tough. He's had tough upbringing and that. Mentally strong enough and things like that. The fact that they were talking about a fee, obligation to buy, not option to buy. So basically, you have to buy him at the end of the season or whatever. Traveling for a medical, that's a lot of information for it to be rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that we haven't announced Woodrow as well, I think maybe it might even be in a couple of minutes. Do you know what I mean? That they might announce it. So yeah, I think that we will get him. And I think, if you think about the attackers we've got in our books, if they're all fully fit, I mean, him, Yates, Wells, Nordas, Elijah, Brown, because he's still here. There's some, if they're all, so you can just switch them 1-for-1 and they're all bang on form, competing. You're going to score bag loads of goals, but we'll see. But I think we know we needed another striker. So I think it will be announced. Unless there's some pettiness going on with the McGuinness. Well, no, can't have him there. I doubt it. Do you know what I mean? But that could be the case. But I doubt we'd reduce, because in that case you'd almost say, well, we'll have him for nothing now, or we'll just buy him for whatever in the summer because we sell thingy to you a bit cheaper or whatever. I don't know, but I still think we'll be getting him, yeah. And I think he's a decent player.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm surprised when I saw the stuff coming out this morning that because we got Yates, who's obviously, yes, I know he hasn't scored yet, but he's, I mean, he's the number 9. He's been given the number 9, so we know he's, there's a good player there, and AL-HAMADI's obviously will want to start and things, so be interesting. It will be interesting, when it comes to that striker situation, because say if he does come in, and you play 2 up front, when Yates is firing, but then you can't drop Nordos. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, Wells is 35, so it's, what I mean, so you can rotate him a little bit, but it's going to be proper interesting. But yeah, that should be a good strike force. And then on top of that, when they eventually come back, obviously, like say Brown and Elijah, should be more than good enough, really. Let's be honest. Yeah, of course, Phil. Obviously, we've mentioned that ourselves. Knowing our luck, we'll probably come off and there'll be a lot of announcements and stuff. Knowing our luck, but yeah, no, I believe, mate, he can only play striker, but I wouldn't be surprised if we try and put him into a cam. He can play out wide as well, but we don't really play out wide unless we're playing, obviously, the wing back. So yeah, that's that on that. But yeah, Dad, any final things you want to say before we wrap up?
Well, a lot of people will be saying, why haven't we signed, a defensive fullback and things like that. I mean, we have got a recent signing. The player we signed from Portsmouth on that side. Right back, maybe they're just like, we can do a job there, or we'll switch someone else there. But are we going to change formation then? It's still quite interesting in that respect. I'm not quite sure why we haven't gone for a more defensive one, But who knows? We might have. That's all I've got to say, really. Obviously, we want to be doing more business, but obviously, you can have that squad of 25. Is it? Or is it 23 even? No, it's 25. Yeah, the fact I said earlier, Woodrow hasn't been confirmed as out. Out 1 in, 1 out. I think that probably be announced at the same sort of time, and then maybe with Holmes going, we do get a left back as well. Let's see. Because obviously the player signed on loan, he's not registered because he's gone back to on loan. So it's just Morris really we have registered. So yeah, let's just see. Hopefully, I know when the window shuts, if as long as they've got the deal over the line, they can do the paperwork. Because I don't think you can confirm it until you've actually done all the paperwork, etc. And then you've got to film it and stuff like that. So, maybe tonight still, or tomorrow morning at some point, because it does happen. There'll still be deals and outs which haven't actually been confirmed. So yeah, and then obviously we're quick touch. We've got Barnet tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, man, I'm going to it. My first game this season,
Yeah.
other than Tottenham, but that was only friendly.
Them tickets then.
Yeah, we did actually. Well, we still don't know where we're sitting, but they basically, guys, the concept. Well, I say we. Jamie won tickets for the game tomorrow, so yeah, through the Utilia, our sponsor, and yeah, we don't know where we are exactly, but they said get them at the ticket office. So it's just what I usually do anyway. At the home game, so we'll find out from there. But I'm going to guess the newsstand because when I won a few tickets last year for from Sky. It was actually in the newsstand as well, so that's why I reckon, especially being the newest bit of the stand, they sort of want to show it off, I guess. But yeah, that's where I think it is. That
Yeah, so obviously we won't talk too much, but expect there to be raft of changes. It's a few more youngsters in there who are not registered for the first team, but development squad and that. Probably like Shane goal, you know what I mean? Yates may be starting to get a bit more up to speed, maybe like the new signing, like you say, and things like that. I could do score prediction or anything, it'll be a tough, Barnet will be fight, the established sort of at the moment, League Two. So it's a good test. So we should win, but don't be surprised if we. It depends on the lineup, but I mean, even there'll be a couple of heads in there that will be still strong, like probably maybe Walsh, things like that. Be interesting to see who starts up front as well. So I don't know what youngsters we've got because we loaned out Luca, we loaned out
loads, Harris, Lynch, yeah.
It could be that Wells starts that game, but we should have enough because I think there will be other heads, like say, who are not starting regularly for us that will be starting that game. So yeah, expect to win. I don't know if I'll be able to watch it or not. I don't know if it's on.
It is on Sky Sports Plus, so you will be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I can watch it on.
Yeah.
Not,
yeah.
Not. You know what I mean? Like we should qualify for the the knockout stages.
We should be topping our group. Let's be honest.
Should be, yeah. So yeah, this breaks it up a little bit. Gives you a chance to look at other players and what we do. I mean, when we played Coventry in the cup, I thought we'd done all right in the first half, considering they went out and then scored around about 13 goals in 2 games or something. I'll quickly touch on the fact that Wrexham spent £6.5 million on Sheaf, player that we was linked with season or half ago or whatever. It's a lot of money for them to spend. Decent player. And they've also signed Kabore as well, Tyler. So that's an interesting one to see him. I'm going to be looking out to see how he actually does because a couple of times he was all right for us, but generally he was quite terrible for us, wasn't he? So it's quite interesting that they've signed him as well. So that's one to look out for. Obviously, there's loads of Liverpool have just won the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Just signed Mark Gay and Isaac. Donnarumma to City. I like Donnarumma. He seems to have been around for forever, and he's only 26. And then just another way, yeah, great keeper.
And Man City, they need that because I'll tell you what, I've always felt Trafford's overrated, but you've seen that in the last couple of games.
Yeah, Vissar going to Newcastle.
On top of that other striker they got,
Villa have signed Lindelof. Just seen
that. I think that was yesterday.
Harvey Elliott, did they get him as well?
There was rumours that it was pretty much done. I don't know if they've announced it, but that's a good signing. Yeah, top player.
There was others as well. There's been a few quite. But Liverpool, Jesus. You know what I mean? They're not even clicked yet properly.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're sorting that right out. But yeah, I haven't really looked at any other teams in our league or anything really. It's been sort of concentrating on Luton, and Sky Sports gives you everything else, in a dramatic fashion. Well, my sources and all that, you know what I mean. but it's been quite funny because they keep stuttering the words all the time. They're professionals, yeah, I'm not. Yeah. What was it? Jackson's left Chelsea. Hoyland's gone to Napoli.
I think there was some madness with that Jackson one.
PSG. Huh?
I think with the Jackson one the other day, didn't you have to weren't he halfway through going to Munich or something? Then he had to turn the other way because I think the lap was injured. So he had to be in the squad. It was madness. And they were early kickoff.
Well, they asked him to, but yeah. Yeah, but he's there now. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's still deals going on. It's just not confirmed. But, yeah, hopefully we'll announce something I said about an hour ago, but hopefully 8 o'clock. If not, I expect it to be tomorrow. I'm sure that's not all our business done, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, I believe there's more. But yeah, it would be typical because it's like yesterday when I'd done a video on Holmes and Woodrow. I obviously come to yours, and then bang, more news come out. So yeah, that's just great. Same thing probably happen here, but yeah, obviously if it's something we've already spoke on, then I probably won't go into it. Maybe I don't know unless there's stuff that's come out on top of it. We'll see. But yeah, Phil says I'll be there tomorrow. It's only main stand open as far as I know. That's interesting. I mean, I did have a look at the tickets, even though I'm going anyway. And a lot of around was sold out. I weren't sure if that's because something like that. I know when the youth team plays, the main stands open when they play at Kenilworth Road. I think it's the same with the women's. So yeah, okay, that's quite interesting. So yeah, that'll be good if I'm in a main stand. Then I should be. Like I said, I don't know where I am. Just got to pick them up tomorrow when I'm there. So yeah, and I didn't realise till earlier it's a 7:30 kickoff. It's not a 7:45 or 8. So yeah, just bear that in mind as well. Don't be late like that Watford game that time. Oh dear. Well, I'm glad you was, to be fair, because we were 1-0 down already. No, in block A somewhere. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, my thoughts on Barnet quickly. The game, we should be winning it. I am interested to see their manager, and the reason I say that is Dean Brennan. There was a moment, I can't remember when it was, last year or the year before. They lost. They won. But it felt like a loss to their fans, and they were properly going in on him. And he was like, "Well, if you don't want me here, I won't be here." I mean, he sort of called him out. And I used to go watch Hemel lots. It was local to where I was, and he was the manager. He was there for a very long time, and he was good. He was good for them. So I'm interested to see how they set up tomorrow against us. And I'm interested to see who plays. So I'll be giving Shaden Morris minutes. I want to see what he's like. I do want to see what he's like. So give him a go. Obviously, we've got the international break after that anyway. So, obviously play a rotated side. But, yeah, like you said, it'd be interesting to see who's up front. It might sound a bit crazy, but just because he hasn't scored yet, I might still go with Yates, to be fair. Yates and... I would have said Woodrow, but obviously he's going. I don't know. It's interesting. It's going to be interesting. Unless we play wingers. Might have to play wingers tomorrow. You know what I mean? You don't want to play the other strikers. They're main sort of strikers. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, Phil says Harvey Elliott has happened. Yeah, that's a good move. And I've always rated Harvey Elliott. I mean, I remember when he first come into Liverpool, and he had number, I can't even remember what number it was, but yeah, I knew he was going to be a special player, but it just hasn't worked because they've got so many options. Obviously, they're bringing Wirtz as well. He ain't getting in, but let's be honest. But yeah, no, Woodrow's not confirmed, but I believe it will be. Especially given by what you sent earlier. That guy is quite, for as far as I know, and when I've looked in the past, he's quite reliable with things like that. And the picture thing, do you know what I mean? There's no way that's photoshopped. With him with a Wickham squad. So yeah, and it makes sense. It makes sense as well. With him not being too far away either. In the sense of the moves and things like that. So yeah, that is that. When it does come to that, but yeah, that is the end of the Hat Show for today. We will be back. We'll probably do a reaction. We'll do a little reaction to more news, I guess, on Friday. that's come out after, and we can both get into it with stuff not being announced yet fully. Briefly touch on the Barnet game, I guess, and then from there on in, we'll do a preview for when we do play the next game, which is Plymouth at home, which right now I'm saying we should win that game. I mean, they've been absolutely dreadful to the start of the season, only one win. So, yeah, that's that when it comes to that. But, yeah, as for the game tomorrow, I will be there, like I've said. So, yeah, I will be doing fan camp after. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do a vlog yet. Do you know what? I'll see what the lineup's like, and then I'll go from there. So yeah, but there will be match reactions anyway for myself. I know Mike's going as well, so it'll be good to have him back on the channel. And yeah, if any of you do want to come on it, if you are going, please do. And yeah, from there on in, obviously, like I say, we'll do a hat show at the end of the week and things like that. And then yeah, all of that. So yeah, big up to everyone. Don't forget to smash a like. Do subscribe if you haven't already. Let's try and get to 20 likes. We're currently on 18. So yeah, smash a like. If you do watch it on playback, smash a like. Like I say, a couple new subscribers today as well. So big up to everyone. Do check out the other videos as well if you haven't already. And yeah, Tom, mate, I'm the exact same, mate. Announce him. It's all scheduled to be done. But yeah, do let me know if you are going, people. But yeah, Mick says, hi, Ty, let's get the win against Barnet. Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. Yeah, I'm really interested to see that lineup. Really interested. And maybe we might have a little go at another formation. I don't know. Probably not, but yeah, you never know. You never know. Oh, my God. Right. The breaking news. McGuinness has left the football club.
Oh, shit.
He's left the football club as we speak. And he's gone to Sheffield United on a permanent deal. Wow. That is something I was not expecting on this deadline day. I know you was a really big fan of him, Dad. Oh, that is a little bit gutting, that. Oh no. I'm actually gutted about that, you know.
Well, that's the people. Some people would, already be on Facebook and that going, yeah, he's too slow. He went all that. He was. Does that mean we're keeping Mengi now?
Yeah, I'd say so. You can't afford to lose both for me.
Well, we're stuck with, with Anderson being injured, with Johnson being injured. We're a bit stuffed in that central position because now you're going to have to put Longvik there and then put Naismith, on the left. What else have we got at the moment? Obviously, there's the one from Rotherham who's but he's primarily right back, isn't he? I'm not sure. Well, he can play.
He's a CDM, but he can play right back. He can play centre back as well. Yeah.
But not Naismith. Sorry, McGuinness. You know what I mean? And the fee. We only paid 10. We paid £10 million for him.
We can't be bending over. Sorry.
I know I must have that money, but we can't be making a loss on him, surely. And has they got anyone that could be part of the deal? I don't think so.
No, but they have just put on their Twitter, cheeky bastard,
Chong
Agent Chio, and a picture of him on a phone. Oh, mate.
Chong Chio and flipping McGuinness there. I can't stand Sheffield United either. Fuck's sake. Remember that fan who had never heard of Luton?
Yeah, this is why my dad don't like Sheffield United, by the way. And there's always a Sheffield United fan. Ollie, shout out to him, really nice guy. He always comes on the channel and helps me and stuff. But yeah, there's this guy called Ollie, right? Sorry, not Ollie. This guy, I don't even know what his name is. But you guys probably seen it, right? He come to Kenilworth Road a couple of years ago. I say years ago. That game we drew 0-0. And he had a southern accent. And he had the audacity to go, I've never heard of Luton. No problem. Yeah, I know some people say, oh, you support, with certain people, they go, oh, you support Southern team beating Northern X, or vice versa. But the fact that he says he doesn't know Luton when people go on about how much of a, not so great place it is, and you're a Southerner, bruv, you've definitely heard of it. You're a waffler. So, yeah, that's the main reason you you don't really like him.
If it was from up north, don't tell me you know what I mean? Like,
Well, even that, yeah. Because you go to people who are Luton or something,
they've been in the same league, mate, a few times. Don't talk crap. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's from saying it's just I don't know. It's Wilder, I guess, when he was there. Wow, it's interesting that he didn't go to Ipswich though. That if they was ever interested in him in the first place, let's have it right. You know, wow. Be better if they better be like went for like 8 million for some sort of clause or something like that, because there's no way they'd have got him on the cheap. And obviously they're going to say it's undisclosed, but it'll probably say elsewhere because it's a championship. We did pay.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out.
Allegedly, we paid £10 million for him. But wow. I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find anything on a price or rough estimation. Sometimes
we'll see. If it's the official Sheffield, page, then.
Yeah, I've looked on theirs. They've said that it's just undisclosed. So yeah, I don't know.
On the main site, mate. What's
that?
That's all it says, isn't it, on the main site?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, people in the chat not too happy, and I can understand it. And there's me earlier going, better not, we can't be.
Well, I thought it'd stay.
Yeah,
we must have. Well, maybe that's what we must have tried. We've gone in for someone. We must have. You got to replace him.
Yeah. I mean, have we even been? Let me know in the chat. Have we even been linked with any centre backs?
We ain't paying 4 at the back now. I'll tell you that.
Have we even been linked with any centre backs? No, I don't think we have we? This is my worry, right? And I know Luton over the years we have done signings out of nowhere, but now it's so hard to do it because there's just eyes on it like you see all these announcements. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so hard to do it, and when they ask managers, it's so like when they were asking the Aberdeen manager, Luton Town, like it's obvious it's us. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so it is a bit of a worry to me, and the fact it's like Rich says here. Yeah, Holmes weren't in our team, sort of thing. Like, but the fact, like losing another centre back, wow, and we like.
I know what's happened. The Mark Gay, whatever the fuck his name is, he's not going to Liverpool now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I've got Liverpool fans going mental, mate.
Maybe we've hijacked the deal.
Oh my god, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I think the reason he's not, and obviously I talk to Liverpool fans, as you know that. I'm hearing what's happened is so Palace were getting a defender, but they're not getting that defender now. I can't remember the reason, but they're not getting him. I don't know if something's stalled in the deal or something. So yeah, Mark Gay's not going now. He's not going. But it'll be frustrating for him. As much as he loves it at Palace and that, it'll be frustrating for him because he had the medicals and that all done. Everything was done on the way. It's just that it's been a letdown. So,
but they did sign someone.
Is it official? Because I heard it was done, and then there's a stall in it. We don't need the money, so why sell? Yeah, I will be frustrated if this is a low deal.
Yeah, but right, we don't need the money. That's what I said earlier. But he's obviously said, no, I want to go. And if the player says that he can't, that's it. Game over, isn't it?
I still feel we can sort of be a bit more like, well, he's an asset to us. Look at the stuff, like I said earlier, what Bloomfield was saying about him. Over the last season,
you can't force someone to stay. That's it. You know what I mean? And if you don't,
you can't. But you got to show a bit more ruthlessness about you, because we don't know the official bid yet. But look at the Doughty situation.
I mean, you could say the same. Palace seem to have done that, but we don't know why it's off. Really, do you know what I mean? it could be financial reasons. I doubt it, but
Yeah, this is what I mean, Rich. This is a worry, mate. It's a worry. Worry.
yeah,
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see what Bloomfield's got to say about that. Because, like I say, he rated him highly, so be interesting.
he said he's disappointed already. But
Oh, is that on the website? Is it?
yeah,
Oh, yeah. Now, fair enough. I mean, like I say, he rated him highly, so we're frustrated as fans. You know what I mean? So God knows how he feels. Centre backs, right? I like this, Rich. Thank you for this. So we've got Odofin. Obviously, he's out. The Rotherham one. Anderson's injured. We don't really know what's going on with that. Naismith, Longwick, Makoso. Yeah, now looking at that, compared to what we thought we had, obviously right now, unless anyone knows anything else, we've still got Mengi as well on top of that. But yeah, looking at that, that's still, do you know what I mean? Like we thought we were covered, and now looking at two players going out, it's not looking as deep as it was.
yeah, but he's definitely a good player, mate. He's underestimated. Do you know what I mean? He's tall.
He was always good at winning the ball from headers.
Who's doing that now? Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I'm in this group chat and it's going absolutely mental. Deadline day's mental, yeah. And the fact that it's ended at 7, obviously stuff will still come out like this. But the fact that it's actually ended at 7 makes it even more mental than it's probably ever been. Oh, we better not be. With all due respect to him, we better not be.
We have to get someone in on loan or something, I think.
Yep. It's definitely happening. The latest, mate, I don't know. I don't understand because he had a medical and everything. But nothing's come out. Like, it's just a bit of a. I don't know what is going on with that one. Hopefully, though, like you said, Dad, Woodrow gets announced to leave because that is basically done, by the way, guys, to Wickham. It just hasn't been announced. And then we sort of say, wishing you the best, Woodrow, like we do. And then, like we did with McGuinness. And then, bang, get AL-HAMADI in. That'll give the fans a little bit more confidence. But, yeah, we still need a defender, man. Still need a defender. And even the left side.
Yeah, I don't know who we're going to get, mate.
I know.
Lockyer. We have to. Is Lockyer still with us?
Out contracts. I mean, it's like Rich said here. We re-signing him. Oh no, I just think there's a massive risk in that. Really, I do, to be honest. And I love Lockyer, but I just think there's a massive risk. We can't afford to be doing sentimental stuff. If we want to be going back up, we can't be doing this sentimental stuff. I'm sorry, but we can't. As our main centre back went on form, yeah, I'd agree. There was spells last year towards the back end where he was a nailed on starter. So it's going to sound a bit mad, but I'm not too disheartened he's gone himself. It's more so the bid. I need to know that because if that ain't a great offer, then I'm fuming because he spent about with add-ons leading up to 10 million for the guy. So I will be frustrated if we've sort of rolled over for it. And I get, yes, the player will want to play in a higher level. I get that, but it showed that we not like. I mean, we obviously yes. When we got, let's be honest, when we got him, we were desperate for a centre back. However, we paid a decent offer for him. So based on that, should be trying to get a decent offer back. Not quite that level, but we should be touching it. And I don't care that really. I don't care about that. What loads of people go on about as well is, they're in the Premier League 2 years ago. Okay, so you're still mentioning that. So that's the top league of England. So what are we doing here? So yeah. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. We are. I'm sorry, we are. I'm sorry, but we are sometimes. We are. And it does frustrate me. We must put above the good of the club. Facts. Totally agree with this as well, Tom. Totally agree with this as well. We are short now. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, isn't it? What a couple of players leaving can do. Oh man. So yeah. Yep, it is, mate. Yeah, this is what I mean. I'm trying to find out, but I can't see it anywhere. I mean, I'm gonna have a quick look again on Twitter, and just see if anything, any journalist or anything, put anything out um, regarding the fee. I don't think they will, though. To be fair, no, I'm not seeing nothing. I'm not seeing nothing. Um, yeah, that could be the make or break of my frustrations with that deal, whatever the offer is. But yeah, that is a player I didn't expect to leave. I mean, we were saying it earlier. Well, I was saying it. I think he stays this season. Oh wow, wow. So yeah,
Oh well, let's wrap it up.
yeah. Let's wrap it up. But yeah, I guess if anything comes out, I might do a little video because I feel I need to talk a bit more to you guys. But that's if anything comes out regarding that. But yeah, big up to everyone that watched, whether you watched on playback or not. Big up to everyone. By the way, big up to everyone that has watched. Right now, we're on 386 views. I think that's arguably one of the biggest hat shows we've done so far. So big up to everyone that has tuned in. Like I say, smash the like, subscribe, follow me across on my socials, subscribe to the extra channel. And yeah, if any news comes out, any more signings, any more outgoings, unless it's someone we've mentioned regarding outgoings, I probably won't touch on it. But if AL-HAMADI, for example, actually gets announced, I'll probably do a video on it. But like I say, I will be at the Barnet game tomorrow. We'll do a fan cam. So if anyone wants to come over, it'll be opposite the club shop. Please do. Me and Mike will be doing one. So yeah, and anyone else if you want to do one. But yeah, like I say, smash a like, subscribe, all of that. And yeah, until next time, we'll see you lot in a bit. Take care and peace. Sign some defenders, Luton, man. Well, hopefully we have. It's not now. Peace.